My dear students, once again I am back with same chapter number 6 with topic equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity in competitive market. Okay, so in the previous class we had already done the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity, though I will recap once this concept of equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. So equilibrium price, what is equilibrium price? The price at which quantity demanded and quantity supply are same. That means the price at which quantity demanded and quantity supply are same. Okay, the price at which quantity demanded and quantity supply are same, that is your equilibrium price. Now equilibrium quantity, the amount or the quantity of commodity that are bought and sold at equilibrium price is known as equilibrium quantity. Okay, so what is equilibrium quantity? The amount of goods or the quantity of goods that are bought or sold at a equilibrium price is known as equilibrium quantity. So these things we have already discussed. Now we are moving towards equilibrium price, how to determine equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity in a competitive market. Okay, so we know that in the case of competitive market we have already done the different forms of market in chapter number 9. So I hope you have little bit idea about this competitive market. So in the case of competitive market, individual buyer or individual seller cannot influence the market price. So here the price, okay, the price of a commodity is determined by the interaction of market forces of demand and supply. Okay, with the interaction of that demand and supply we can determine the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. Now here I am going to explain you this equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity, the determination of equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity in a competitive market with the help of one example. Okay, I will consider one example. I will show you the quantity demand column, quantity supply column and price column, and with the help of that I will show you where we'll get the equilibrium and where we will be the disequilibrium situation. So everything will be explained with the help of this example. Okay, so here I have considered one schedule, demand and supply schedule for short. So here commodity considered is short. Now here with the help of this schedule I am going to explain you how to determine equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity in a competitive market. As theoretically we have already explained that with the interaction of demand and supply, okay, with the interaction of market forces of demand and supply helps to determine the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. So here I am going to explain same thing with the help of this example. Now I have considered one column, column number 1 for price, okay, price of shorts, and column number 2 we have quantity demanded per month. Column 3 we have quantity supply per month, okay, and column 4 we have market position, and column 5th we have effects on price. So here see, at the beginning suppose I have considered 1000 rupees per shirt and the quantity demand is 30, here 00 per month means 1000 per month, so it will be 30,000 per month. Okay, quantity demand is 30,000 per month and the quantity supply we have 56,000 per month. Now if you compare the demand and supply, see, demand is 30,000, supply is 50,000. So which one is greater here? Supply, quantity supply is greater, okay, greater. So what will be the market position? Excess demand or excess supply? So the situation will be excess supply, because here supply exceeds demand, supply exceeds demand. So here situation of excess supply. Now see, this column number 2, quantity demand, it follows the law of demand, and law of demand says that when price of a commodity decreases, quantity demand increases. That means price and quantity demand has inverse relationship. When price is 1000, quantity demand is 30. When price is decreasing from 1000 to suppose 900, you can see that quantity demand is increasing. So it follows the law of demand, and there is inverse relationship between the price and quantity demand. Now similarly, when price decreases from 900 to 800, you can see that the quantity demand increases from 40 to 45. So in the same way, see, if you compare this price and a quantity supply, if you show the relationship between price and quantity supply, it show the positive relationship or direct relationship. When price increases, quantity supply will increase. When price decreases, quantity supply will decrease. I will show you. See, when price is 1000, quantity supply is 56,000. When price decreases from 1000 to 900, quantity supply decreases from 56 to 50. It shows that there is a positive relationship or direct relationship between the price and quantity supply. So in the same way, when price decreases from 9 to 800, you can see that quantity supply decreases from 50 to 45,000. Again, when price decreases from 800 to 700, quantity supply decreases from 45 to 35. So column 2 is the column for quantity demand. It shows inverse relationship with the price, and column 3 is the column for quantity supply, and it shows positive relationship with this price. Now here we have to determine the market position. So first, we have already explained, at 1000 price is 30, quantity demand is 30,000 unit per month and quantity supply is 56,000. So there is a situation of excess supply. That means here the supply is greater than demand. Now next we have 900. When price decreases from 1000 to 900, here see, quantity demand is increasing from 30 to 40,000, but quantity supply is decreasing from 56 to 50,000. Again, if you compare this 40 and 50, which one is greater? 50 is greater. That means quantity supply is greater than quantity demand. Again, the situation of excess supply will arise. So here also the situation will be excess supply. Now when price decreases from 900 to 800, okay, 800. So at price 800, here see, quantity demand is 45,000 and the quantity supply is also 45,000. That means here quantity demand and quantity supply is same. That means we are in the situation of equilibrium. We are in the situation of equilibrium. That means what is your equilibrium price? 800 is your equilibrium price, because at this price quantity demand and quantity supply are same. I have marked with this chalk. See here, price is 800, quantity demand is also 45,000 and quantity supply is also 45,000. That means here the price at which quantity demand and quantity supply are same is known as equilibrium. So this is your equilibrium. Now I will check, if price decreases from 800 to 700, then what will be the impact on market position? Okay, now see, when price decreases from 800 to 700, see, quantity demand increases from 45 to 55, but quantity supply decreases from 45 to 35. So here, which one is greater? Demand is greater or supply is greater? Here demand is greater, quantity demand is greater, 55 is greater than 35. That means when demand exceeds supply, the situation is known as excess demand. So this is your excess demand. Now here I forgot one thing. When there is excess supply, obviously what will be the impact on or effect on price? The price will decrease. Okay, price will decrease. Here also, in the second case, when price is 900, at 900 also quantity demand is 40,000 and quantity supply is 50,000. So there is a situation of excess supply. Now when there is an excess supply situation, again the price will decrease. Okay, again the price will decrease. This downward arrow shows decrease in price. Now when price is 800, at 800 price, you can see that quantity demand is 45,000, quantity supply is also 45,000. Now situation is equilibrium, so the price will be stable. Here the price will be stable. Neither it will increase nor it will decrease. That means both the producers and consumers have tendency not to shift from this position, because this is the equilibrium position, and equilibrium price here we have 800. Now I will consider the another case where price is decreasing from 800 to 700. Here see, quantity demand is 55, quantity supply is 35. Situation is excess demand. Now when there is an excess demand for a commodity in a market, there will be the tendency of price to rise. Okay, then price will move in the upward direction. Similarly, if the price decreases from 700 to 600, quantity demand is 70 and quantity supply is only 20. So here is also a situation of excess demand. Here also there is a tendency for price to rise. But once the equilibrium is achieved, that means at price 800, okay, at price 800, once the equilibrium is achieved, that means quantity demand is 45,000 and the quantity supply is also 45,000. So here we are in the equilibrium situation, and once we reach the equilibrium, neither the producer or not the consumer wants to shift from that position. Okay, so this is the way how the equilibrium price and quantity are determined in a competitive market. Now same mechanism we can explain with the help of diagram, but that part we will do it in the next class.